product featured in today's video were provided by NECA Toys for the purposes of this review. Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and today we're going to be checking out the Rhino alien from the folks over at NECA Toys. So this is the latest figure in their Aliens line that pays homage to the classic Kenner toy line, one of my all-time favorite toy lines, and thus have been some of my favorite figures from NECA. I think they've done an incredible job updating some of the very unique aliens. Those crazy aliens specifically are some of my favorites in like the history of toys, so I love seeing these new NECA iterations. So the Rhino alien is a beast of a figure. I mean, he's so big that they actually packaged him inside of a box instead of their usual clamshell packaging that we see on their typical Alien releases. Now, they still made the box look a lot like the old Kenner action figures. They even have like a fake blister bubble around blister bubble on the front here, which is really cool. We got some great new artwork at the top. And when we look at the back side of the box, you can see that great kind of grid-like pattern with the cross-cell, showing some of their other updated Kenner, Predator, and Alien figures, as well as their new retro figures up there at the top. And we even have a Velcro flap, so you can open that up, you get some fantastic photography, and the window fully showcases the figure within. And right here, I can actually start with a little bit of comparison time, because check it out. I actually have a vintage Kenner Rhino alien still in the package. It's a bit of a beat up card. It's yellowed. That's okay, because I'm going to open this up so we can do a proper comparison time. But I still wanted to show what NECA did with the box to make it look like that vintage card back, which is very, very cool. And you can see they even did the same thing with the cross-sell there on the vintage card back compared to that new box. So real fun stuff. I absolutely love it. But let's go ahead and get this guy and this guy opened up, and we'll get a closer look at this brand new Rhino alien. All right, guys, we have got our Rhino alien outside of the packaging, and oh my goodness, this is a beast of an action figure, like legit. This thing is huge. So let me bring in the tape measure here just to kind of show you that the length of this guy, from the front of his horn to the back hoof there, is about 10 inches in length, and that's him in this crouched down position. Now this is, of course, is to mimic that crouched down position of the vintage action figure. It is a bit tricky to kind of get him flat-footed, I've noticed in the back, but the articulation's pretty nice. So you just got to kind of mess with the articulation of the knees. You got those double joints and everything. You can even articulate the fingers here in the front. So hopefully you can kind of mess with that, find the right way to get him positioned. But man, look at this dude. He is an absolute beast in this form. But I want to show you something, because even though he's big like this, one of the things that's crazy about this is you can get this guy standing up straight, even though he's like this Rhino alien who's supposed to be, you know, kind of hunched down like that. I mean, look at this. I'm going to see if I can get this camera zoomed out here just so you guys can see this dude. Oh my gosh, just look at this. Look at this dude. He's a bit lanky and a bit unstable at this height, but oh my gosh, look, if I'm standing up straight and I bring in the tape measure here, he is like 11 inches tall. So you can see exactly why this is like a deluxe figure that comes in a box. I mean, look, if I bring in Drake here, look how he towers over Drake. This is insane. Oh, man, it's a huge, huge figure. But let me go ahead and get him back down into his Rhino pose so we can get a better look at him here. All right, so this is our proper Rhino pose here. So really cool stuff. And now the look of this guy is absolutely amazing. They did such a good job of paying respect to that vintage Kenner action figure with that very cool, almost like burnt orange, translucent plastic look with the kind of like the darker black mixed in there with it, almost like a bit of a maroon in there as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I love the way that translucent orange pops, especially under the studio lights here. The brain piece up here is extra awesome. Now, this is removable on this guy. Look at that. You got this removable piece. It's like this kind of smoky plastic there. When you pull that off, you've got this great bright orange translucent plastic. It just kind of fits and sits over the top there like this. You got a little horn sticking through on the back. It doesn't clip on, so it's worth noting it's a bit loose on there. Sometimes when you articulate it around, it's easy to bump it off like that. But otherwise, it does look very cool. It's got a really nice effect when it's on there. It's got that great translucent see-through skull look that I always love in my xenomorphs. This dude is awesome. I mean, he is absolutely beautiful. The articulation on it's pretty nice. I will say I kind of wish I can bend his head up just a little bit higher. You know, that vintage figure actually had like a headbutt action for his horn, so I almost wish I could get it up a little bit, but I understand we've got some hindrance there because of the sculpt. You can still open up the mouth. He does have the inner jaw. There it is right there. So we can kind of pop out the inner jaw. Works a lot like what we've seen on a lot of the NECA figures. I mean, just look at the details on this face right here. Of course, he's got this big rhino style horn on the front. The teeth almost have like this metallic look to it. Same with like all of the exoskeleton type look right there on his chest. Man, it is awesome. Most of the joints are real tight, which is really good for a guy like this because he's so big and he's kind of heavy, with the only part that I think is too loose being the ball joints there at the thighs, because when I've got him in this pose where I've tried to get him on all fours, he does kind of sag like this from time to time, and I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things like you're going to display it on your shelf like this, but you're going to come in like a week later and his weight is going to cause him to do this. Like he's doing some yoga there on your shelf. So I wish that the joints at the thighs were a little bit tighter, but that's probably my only complaint as far as that articulation goes, because holy cow, this dude is absolutely gorgeous. You got the double elbows, you got the double knees, you know, the wrists have hinges in them there as well as swivel, plus you can bend at the fingers there, you know, the ankles can move forwards and backwards. They also rock side to side. So this dude's got some pretty nice articulation through and through, and for the most part, it's pretty tight. Just those thighs there. All right, guys, we keep talking about that vintage figure this is based on, so I have to show this off. It's comparison time, and oh my goodness, look at the difference between vintage Kenner Rhino Alien and the new NECA Toys Beast. It is pretty amazing to see that. Now, of course, that NECA Toys, or the Kenner Toys one, I'm sorry, has this button on the side that allowed his head to jet forward, and then you can like make his horn hit by pushing this little trigger on the top, which is actually a super fun action feature. But it's kind of amazing to see the difference between them, but also the similarities. You know, they added a lot of the same kind of sculpt designs. You can see these pieces on the shoulders kind of up here on the NECA one. You can see the shape of the overall head is mimicked over here. And of course, that color scheme is perfect. It is absolutely beautiful. So there you go, my friends. That is a look at the amazingly beautiful deluxe Rhino Alien, paying homage to the classic Kenner toy line from NECA Toys. This dude is awesome to pair up with some of your Kenner-inspired Space Marines that NECA's already released, or any of the other Kenner aliens. I am so glad that they keep doing all of these crazy designs from the old Kenner line, because that line is kind of what made me an Alien fan as a kid, because I was so intrigued by those action figures, and I love seeing them get the hyper detailed NECA Toys treatment. So once again, very special thanks to the folks at NECA for sending this along so we could get a good look at it outside of the packaging. This is available right now from your favorite online retailers, such as sponsor of this channel, Megalopolis Toys. I will put a link in the video description. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, my friends.